Jake and Bake says, the more Biddy goes up, the more I get nervous that I'm still very uneducated on self-custody. All right, so I'll say a couple things on that, Jake. I don't know if you're still around here because this comment was from 45 minutes ago. But I will say a couple things on that. Number one, that this is absolutely going to be a problem. And we just looked at all the lost coins that are already out there. I think there's going to be a lot more lost coins, which is very unfortunate. But it's the reality of things here. And so what I would say is just like you're either going to have to invest some time or money to try to do that. And this is for the people who bought a lot of Bitcoin and their knowledge is not caught up to the amount of holdings that they have. Their knowledge has not caught up to how much Bitcoin they hold. So you have to either spend a lot of time or you have to pay somebody to help you with it. And so obviously paying somebody is the easier route, but a lot of people would rather buy Bitcoin. I totally get it. But if you are somebody who does need help with your security, with your private key management, with your devices, with multi-sig, with multi-jurisdictional, with running a node, if you need help with any of that, just shoot me an email. We have some very, very knowledgeable and intelligent people within our Bitcoin Citadel group now. And so regardless of what you're looking for, we can find somebody who can help you with that. And objectively much cheaper, much more reasonably priced than competitors out there. So that's the first part. But the second part I would say is that if you are somebody who's like wants to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, but doesn't want to go through the process of storing it yourself and learning it all, if you just want to buy it now before, you know, the big explosion that happens here in 2025, then just reach out to me because I have a couple different options in terms of custodial options. And this is something that, you know, when people first get into Bitcoin, they see all these different memes, all these different videos of like, if you don't hold your Bitcoin yourself, you don't actually own it. And then they buy a bunch, they go very fast into Bitcoin, they try to protect it, secure it. It's not an easy thing to do for the average person or for anybody, but it's not just like straightforward stuff. So I think that the majority of those lost coins that we talked about came from people messing up. And so it's okay if you need a custodian to hold your Bitcoin for a couple months while you catch up to your holdings in terms of your knowledge. That's okay. I'm sure if you looked at a comparison of how many people lost Bitcoin by trying to take self-custody too quick versus how many people who lost Bitcoin by holding it on a custodian. Now, I'm not talking about Coinbase, but I'm talking about there are really good, trustworthy, well-known people who have been here for a while that will hold your Bitcoin for you. So if that's you, if you want to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, but you're not ready to hold it yet yourself and you don't want to leave it on Coinbase, just reach out to me and just say that. I want to buy Bitcoin, but I don't want to store it yet. So what we'll do is we'll get you the Bitcoin. They'll hold it for you. And in the meantime, while we work through these next couple of months, we'll get everything in place for you to have that. When the Bitcoin is sent back to you, you're going to have a good understanding of your setup and you're not going to lose your Bitcoin. You're not going to be part of that, the lost coin community.